Hey everyone, Bill Corbett here with Port City Living at Fathom Realty. I am a real estate agent serving the greater Wilmington, North Carolina area. And I don't know why I said it that way. I have Invisaligns in, and so it's kind of hard for me to talk sometimes. But anyway, I serve the greater Wilmington, North Carolina area, and I bring you videos about what it's like to live in this part of our beautiful state. And I throw in some real estate tips and topics and some homes from time to time. But today I wanted to give you a little bit of a history lesson. I found this information really interesting. It's about Fort Fisher down in the southernmost tip of New Hanover County. Um, Today, this area down there is just simply beautiful. Even if you just go down and just visit the ocean and the sound side and just go down and just kayak or just visit, you just walk around. It's absolutely gorgeous. But for those of you who are history buffs, you may find this interesting. I'm going to try to condense this information down really quick and pack a lot of stuff in really fast for you. But um, Fort Fisher was created during the Civil War to protect Wilmington, basically. So we all know, or some of us may know, that the Civil War lasted from April of 1861 to April of 1865. And Wilmington was a major port for the Confederacy back then, and it was sort of protected because of the way it's up in the river, the Cape Fear River. And behind Charleston, it was the second most fortified port in the Confederacy. So once Charleston fell, Wilmington was the last one, and so it needed to be protected. So in 1862, plans were started to build Fort Fisher, which was a protection for Wilmington. And if you see here on the map, you can see that they built like a number 7. So they went from river over to ocean and then down the ocean front. And that was to protect the Union from trying to attack them. So when they did this, the design was, instead of using like bricks and wood, which could be hit by cannons and basically destroyed instantly, they decided to use these mounds of dirt. Um, and which could take a pounding, and then they could fill in holes and then keep on fighting. And so that was the plan. And when it was finished in 1865, it was the largest earthen works for a fort in the world. That's pretty awesome, in the world. Also, these bunkers, these hills had little rooms underneath. There were artillery rooms for their guns and weapons and their ammunition and whatnot. And there were tunnels that led from one hill to the other, which was also pretty cool. But when it was completed, the first battle happened in December 24th of 1864. The Union attacked Fort Fisher. It wasn't as successful as they thought it was going to be, and so they came back in January of 1865 and hit them again. This time they came in with more force from the land side and the ocean side. It was a very bloody battle. There's this particular picture here is called the Bloody Gate. According to veterans, this was one of the bloodiest portions of the war, was fought right here. The fort was taken over. Wilmington did fall, and then pretty soon after that, in April of 1865, the Civil War ended. So lots of history on this ground. Lots of people perished, obviously, in this battle. I never could get exactly the right number of people who did perish. It was between 1,100 and 1,400, which is a big gap. But I was told that most of the people that perished were buried on site. They think it was where the visitor center is today. But at some point, most of the bodies were moved into cemeteries in Wilmington, most notably our Oakdale Cemetery, which is an incredible Victorian cemetery that you should totally check out if you visit the area. So the original Earthen Works today, only 10% exist. The bulk of it, remember I said it was a number 7, the longest part of the 7, which was on the ocean side, was overtaken by Mother Nature, and those were all lost as the shoreline changed. But there is about 10% left that you can see here today. Even in 1941, the government activated Fort Fisher once again and made it an anti-aircraft training facility, and a landing strip was cut in to the area for the planes to land, and another part of the earthen works were taken down because of that. So so now, again, only the 10% is left. But if you get a chance, you should check it out. A lot of history there. The visitor center is really awesome, and there's a lot of artifacts inside that were dug up over the years, and the things that I've found. And it's just it's hallowed ground. It's an important part of our Wilmington history, and I think it's somewhat fascinating. So if you're ever in the area and you want to visit and get some history, then I suggest you check out Fort Fisher. If you have any questions about this, or maybe not the Civil War, don't ask me about that because I don't know a whole lot about it, but you might ask my dad. He's a Civil War buff. But if you have questions about anything in the area, then please let me know. You're actually going to take a trip down to Fort Fisher from Wilmington. It's about 26 miles. You're going to go through Carolina Beach and Curie Beach. So you'll see some fantastic homes there. So if you're interested in real estate in Carolina and Curie Beach, hit me up. I'd be glad to give you that information. Or if you want market information about what's going on down in that part of New Hanover County, I'm glad to provide you with that as well. I really enjoy bringing you these videos, and I hope you found this very interesting. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you have not considered subscribing, please consider doing so. I greatly appreciate it. I am Bill Corbett with Port City Living at Fathom Realty, and as always, if someone doesn't have a smile, then give them yours.